Making his way to the cage tonight, Marc TongVan, representing Hard Drive MMA with a record of 5-4 out of Cedar Rapids, Illinois, for the vacant flyweight title.
Yeah, another title fight we got here, facing a very high quality opponent. Coming and wondering exactly what Marc TongVan is going to bring, since we, or at least me personally, I haven't been able to see him fight in person. And you always sort of wonder about these guys. You don't know exactly what they're going to bring into the cage once they get in there.
Yeah, he's a new face for cage aggression fights. So I think everybody in the crowd too, minus people that came literally from his area to see him, are kind of wondering what he's going to do tonight. And like you said, we're going to talk about his opponent here pretty soon. But fighting somebody that's no stranger to the cage aggression card. So coming in knowing that you're not maybe the favored fighter of the night, he's got to do a little bit for you. But with the record of 5-4, he's fought 9 times. This is his 10th fight, so definitely knows his way around the ring with the cage. Making his way to the cage tonight, Andrew "Juicy" Bucy out of Central Illinois Combat Club with an impressive record of 11-3, representing Kewanee, Illinois. And me and you have called this guy's fight before. Bucy's nothing to mess with, man. He's been, in title fights before, and he's in another one tonight, and just very enjoyable to watch. And Marc TongVan's gonna have his hands full tonight with Bucy.
Bucy's one of those guys that, he doesn't really strike you as being scary. Just if you just looked at him, if you could put this on mute and just look at his appearance, you wouldn't think he's scary. But seeing his demeanor, I've probably heard him say about 6 words ever. We've called him on so many different fights. I never hear him talk. He shows up, he looks so unassuming. You just never expect him to come out and be the fighter that he is, but he has his game face on already. It just goes to show what Bob Long and his guys are doing right now. They're doing a lot of really big things, and they have a lot of fighters that are coming up and showing exactly what they have. So Bucy, he's one of the guys that's leading the pack. He has everything that you would want to be in a fighter, especially at this weight level. He's not afraid to strike. He's not afraid to trade. He will come out there and give you everything that he's got.
I'm glad you said something about the weight, because I was just going to say that too, that when you've got a title fight at 125, God, man, you've got the recipe for fireworks, man. These guys aren't going to get tired, to the very end, if that. Most of the time in these title fights and flyweight fights, the guys look like they could go 3-4 more rounds after. So, and along with that, we've seen the strength of Bucy before, and for being 125 pounds, he's got some lunchboxes, man. He throws with some heat. So, see what the new guy, Marc TongVan has to offer.
Ladies and gentlemen, our 6th bout of the evening is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds, and it's for the Caged Aggression Flyweight Championship. Introducing first our challenger, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 4 inches tall and weighing in at 124 1/2 pounds. He trains with Hard Drive MMA and is sponsored by Rocketide Photography, Chiropractic Clinic of Iowa, Dr. Bowers. Joining us from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Marc TongVan! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 4 inches tall and weighed in at 121 pounds. He trains with the Central Illinois Combat Club and is sponsored by Extreme Power and Fitness, Say It Signs, and Blondies. Joining us from Kewanee, Illinois, he's your reigning, defending, Caged Aggression Flyweight Champion, Andrew "Juicy"
Mike Smith, your referee on our 6th fight of the night, the flyweight title fight between Marc TongVan in the white shorts with gray on them, and Andrew "Juicy" Bucy in the black shorts with gray. And no need to feel out, because both fighters are already exchanging kicks. And I like I said, I'm a big fan of the range finding kicks early on than the pawing out jabs. Another big kick. And let me correct myself earlier. This is not the vacant title. Juicy Bucy is the title holder going into this fight.
So that means Marc is going to have to take the belt from him.
Exactly.
You got to come in and be dominant in order to take the belt from the champ.
Right, and both fighters, man, showing some great kicks already, real crisp and really getting the torque on the hips on them too. And Marc already looking to kind of tie up a guillotine early.
When we had a chance to talk to Bucy before the fight today, he was saying that he has really been working on his transition skills, and so this is a time where you want to see him pull something like that out of his bag of tricks.
Right.
Van doing a really nice job of staying heavy and sprawling out, and keeping that center of gravity low, because when you're in a position where somebody's under you, your opponent could easily just flip you over.
Exactly, and Van does a good job right there too of standing up and really trying to sink in that standing guillotine too. And Bucy doing a good job of not submitting to that. And this isn't his first rodeo either, so he's been in these positions before. He knows that you can wait him out where somebody may be debuting, could get a little scared and panicky, but both these guys have been in there before.
And just seeing things so far, this may be one of those fights where it's going to be a little thing fight. The little things are going to start adding up, and just like you had Van, who was on top, and you had Bucy, trying to avoid being mounted, and just seeing him be able to do those transitions.
And
like
right there, yeah, even TongVan too knows how to spin off and does a great side kick.
Really nice side kick right there.
Even when I said when he escaped from that position, still threw another shot on the escape, which is very smart to do. You usually don't expect that. And see, man, he's really loading up on those kicks too, which if this fight goes to the end, it's gonna add up.
Really nice left hand.
Right, lands a quick countering left there. And like you said too, right there too. That even when you don't hear the slap, that's worse. So that was your thud.
And you can see Bucy right there being smart, sort of seeing TongVan lean a little bit for that kick, but he came with a straight kick of his own, a front kick of his own, and it sort of threw TongVan off.
And that's good training too. I mean, it's a kick for kick, and most camps know when you eat a kick, you release a kick very fast afterwards. So to show that I felt yours, and now here's mine. Like we said, man, for 125 pounds, man, these guys have some weight behind those shots, which is crazy to say when, I know you and me know our friends that are 125 pounds, you're not that scared to get hit by them, really.
No.
So,
that just goes to, show that you can't let the size of someone sort of deceive you. And, if I'm getting into a fight, I'm a bigger guy, and, you might think that somebody that small is, can't do anything with me, but I guarantee you, if I got in that cage right now, I'm going to be going down. And that's kudos to these guys, and seeing their strength and their training shine through in each and every kick, each and every punch that they have.
And I like the fact that neither of these guys are really giving too much respect to each other either. Coming into this, at fighting the champion, sometimes you'll see the opponent, the challenger, giving some respect, but that wasn't the case with TongVan tonight. He wasn't doing that, and Bucy wanted to keep his title, wasn't giving any respect back either.
And I really think Bucy in this, this second round is, I would try to, take TongVan down to the ground a little bit, because TongVan has already shown that he has a lot of power behind those kicks and punches, and you don't want to get caught with one of those.
Right. Big exchange too to start it off. Both fighters not afraid to really throw that hook shot.
Real nice.
I mean,
flying
kick. You don't see those a lot, in amateur fights. So.
And I really like that TongVan is willing to take risks like that. You're not gonna just come in and just walk out the cage with the belt, just being passive, and that's definitely not what he's being. Oh, really nice shot there by TongVan.
Huge shot, and it's smart that Bucy goes down and shoots right away to kind of clear the cobwebs out. So you say in the sport.
And that's something that you have to give credit to trainers teaching you to do that, because that's not instinctive. That's not something that's intuitive, to get hit and then immediately run towards your opponent and try to take them down.
No.
It's the opposite. If you get hit, you're trying to back up, and that's the last thing that you want to do when you're in a fight.
You are backing up. I mean, you're a backflip. So, so that's where, great cage awareness, and he knew, he had pretty much had Marc against the cage too when he was running towards him. Does a good job and finds his way and looks to really maybe dump him. Gets low on him there. Marc does a good job of spinning around, trying to do something. So, scrambles like that, I really enjoy watching to see fighters, just roll around into different positions.
Right, and really effortless transitions from, on behalf of both of these guys.
TongVan looking for that Kimura right there. He's got the arm, he's looking to crank on it, but he's got him trapped up against the cage too. And Bucy doing a great job right now to trying to keep his body in an interesting, position. But he's got his legs, he trapped right behind
hanging on to his own leg to keep that arm from being totally bent out.
Very aware of every limb and where his limbs are and where TongVan's limbs are.
Right, and then you see, TongVan's skills right there by, using those hammer fists, and that's just enough to sort of jar you for a little bit and let you release that concentration for a split second.
And for his efforts, Bucy's out of it. He's on, top now, essentially. TongVan doing a great job staying on one hip and not being caught in his back, trying to go to the other. Backwards somersault into something else. So these guys, this is where you really see the difference of 125 pounds as opposed to like 185, 205.
Right.
Looking for an arm bar right there is TongVan. Bucy knows that too, so he's gripping on the leg, not wanting to give him a lot of space.
A constant barrage of shots at the very end by TongVan, and they weren't anything that was super strong, super potent. He's not going for a knockout, but he's gaining points in there, but he's also trying to weasel his way out of a position that could be dangerous for him.
Right, and Bucy found himself in almost two submissions there and worked his way out, mentally stayed in it and didn't submit. But he, so both fighters going into the third round have got to respect each other now. They know what the other one's doing, and really, needs to come out with something outside the box in this third round and do something. You're expecting, Bucy to take him down, and you're expecting TongVan to throw some kicks. So Bucy's really got to stay out of the way of those, get in, get out, work the angles, and things like that.
And I really love seeing these guys as appearance. In their corners, and how they're looking. Are they breathing heavy? Is it a situation where one guy looks gassed and the other one doesn't? Right. Both of these guys look really calm, really cool, and they're done.
Yeah. Oh, you look over at your opponent. When you're in that corner, big kick. Great combo too from TongVan. Just kind of stuns Bucy. Another flying kick towards the other way, so he really is being aware of Bucy right now.
Right, and a very exciting, sort of fighter Marc TongVan is. Right. He's someone who's, willing to take chances, and as a fan of the sport, I really appreciate that.
And it's got to be frustrating for TongVan too to know that you've got the edge on the ground, but if you slip just a little bit, Bucy's right on you, takes you down, and is a grinder. Bucy's a grinder.
Oh yeah,
and that's very frustrating to a stand-up fighter. It kind of just sucks the life right out of you. You're trying to get up, you're trying to move around, but you can't necessarily leave any of your limbs open. So there's a good job. It's slippery now, so Marc's able to slide out real quick and try to get that triangle right now. Here's where it's hard to get some of these submissions now because both fighters are sweaty and slippery, and it's easy to just kind of slide around one way or the other.
And a lot of times you see guys who are, they're really strong in one area, and you have somebody like, TongVan, who seems to be a little bit stronger with his stand-up, but also is able to, go for these submissions while he's on the ground.
And right there, you almost had an armbar right there. Bucy knew it, turned one way, and now he's on top, potentially about to take his back. So, it's, where other fighters right there would have maybe panicked and got caught in the armbar, Bucy's not one of those guys, so he's just very heavy and sticky on Marc TongVan and not letting him go anywhere.
Right, and his, just his demeanor, like, this is he's fighting, you don't want to say for his life, not literally for his life, but he's fighting somebody in the cage, and he looks, pretty much calm as can be, and that's incredible to see someone be able to even have composure on their face, and they're thinking, they're grinding. He's on top right now trying to gain some damage, and you have somebody like TongVan who's going for everything.
Right now he's just trying to slide around, looking for a triangle now, looking for something. Sees that arm open, and like I said, it's got to be frustrating for TongVan to do so well on his feet the first 30 seconds,
right,
and then the remainder of the fight be on your back. Really wants to try to, but doesn't look like he's doing too much to stand up, though. He's pretty comfortable on the ground, too.
Yeah, he does look comfortable. And, Bucy's able to sort of gain a little more leverage by standing up right now, but you can see his feet are slipping and sliding a little bit. It really gets tough. You're 6 fights into the card tonight. It's not like these cages are, sweat-proof and they're not absorbing moisture and stuff, too. So, as it goes on, it's going to be more and more difficult for those guys who, go for submissions and try to grind you out to be able to be and take advantage in these sort of fights.
So here we go into our, into the 4th and 5th round, one into the 4th. I've got to think that Marc TongVan is going to try to stay outside of Bucy's shot range. Then Bucy also maybe at this point can switch it up and kind of open up himself and throw TongVan off a little bit.
Right.
So maybe they can both flip-flop and, do more of what the other guy's doing, because they both have good stand-up, they both have good groundwork. So just kind of throw each other off.
And having the advantage of seeing Bucy fight in the past, we know that he has stand-up power. So, he's been really close to landing a few of those shots, but, with TongVan, you don't want to leave yourself open for, and if I had to give him, an edge right now, I'd give him a slight edge with the, in the stand-up ability. But, if you're Bucy, you're probably wanting to change things up. He's a cerebral fighter, so I know he's thinking of trying to do something to ensure that he's going to get the win, not just sneak it out.
Great sign of respect, too, from each other, as I'd expect in a fight like this to start the 4th round out.
Bucy goes right to the ground.
Yeah, it's what he knows, it's what it's been working, so, why not go for it? But be careful, because Marc TongVan has been a big threat off his back,
right,
too, for most of the fights, so that's where, you've got to, Marc TongVan's got to be hoping for an open arm, an open limb, guillotine, something interesting. Maybe now should use the cage to wall walk and get back. But Bucy, knowing he's going to do that, kind of switches him the other way. So that's great cage awareness from the champion, and it's why he's the champion. It's those little things.
And I also like how Bucy, even when he's not looking, he doesn't have his eye on his target, but he's still throwing punches. He's even aiming for headshots when he's not even looking at it, the guy. So, great awareness by him.
Yeah, and right now he's staying very tight to him. Got him pinned up against the cage a little bit. So really doing a good job in staying inside control. Maybe a couple of knees to the belly right now would be all right, but pretty sure he doesn't need my advice at this point in the fight to know what to do.
And TongVan continuing to try to isolate that arm.
And like you said, he's a threat on the ground. He saw an open limb. He's going for it. He's trying to take it, and he's throwing Bucy off right now. Bucy's trying to stack him and do the best he can to kind of slide out, which he does right there. Watch out for those up kicks, like I've said. Marc TongVan knows exactly what to do, and we've seen fighters get caught with the up kick and have it be the turning point in the fight. When you least expect it. So surprised TongVan isn't using the cage to walk up and try to get this back to standing. But, he's just so comfortable on the ground. I guess that's a testament to him and his team.
I really think Bucy, he's almost like glue right now.
Yeah, there's that north-south position where you can even catch him in a choke in there too, which he's trying to do. Got to keep, that one's more of a shoulder into the neck. But really trying to, just doing well to just keep it active. And right there, TongVan catches him and almost that standing guillotine again. Sprawls well, and waits there patiently. And here's where now too, I'm surprised he's not letting him up.
Sort of interesting right there to decide to
Right.
stop.
I don't know if maybe him and the referee had a little chat there.
You always wonder, exactly when is the right time to stand things up. And both guys seemingly showing a lot of, action, and no one was really, stalling or sort of.
Well, and right there too, TongVan kind of gave the impression of as you're standing there and waiting, there's that couple seconds where that's the universal sign to let him stand up. But and it was one of those iffy things where maybe if he took one more step, really letting him know. So, it's little things like that, but I can't blame him for emotions are high, little nuances, and so it's been a great fight so far, back and forth.
Yeah, and you don't want to give him that sort of gap to that space to just freely jump up, but. TongVan will sort of dive in and come with a shot and then step back up, which is a really smart strategy on his behalf, because, like I said, you don't want to give someone an opportunity to just stand up freely and get things back to even ground.
Here we go, our fifth round in the flyweight title fight tonight here at Cage Aggression 10.
Bucy coming with some nice kicks right there. Looks like he's willing to try to stand things up for a little bit.
And Bucy's hands still very high, very good, very strong still, not looking like he's tired out. Marc TongVan, hands high too, but I was gonna say his hands are down, but I don't think that's because he's tired. I think that's just because of the style he's doing. Kind of catches him with the kick right there coming in. Here's where TongVan just really lays it on him and landed a shot, opened him up a little bit. You see a little bit of blood.
Yeah, a little bit right there. Actually, a lot of it.
Yeah,
we can see the blood really pouring from his left cheek.
Opened him up pretty well, and he smells it right now and is really head hunting right now for that. And there we go. There. I mean, that's what I've always wondered when you're in that position. You just kind of lay into him right there. I think they call a timeout to check the cut. That's
a huge gash right
under his eye. So really got to look and see what they're gonna do right now.
It's kind of crazy to say this. You never want to see somebody come and get cut open the way that Bucy has, but if you're gonna get cut, it would be best to have it under the blood sort of dripping into your vision and impairing you like that. Looks like it's been called.
And I believe they're going to call this too and give the win to Marc TongVan tonight as he steals the flyweight title away from Andrew Juicy Bucy tonight, improving his record to 6-4 now. Great fight from both. I mean, you can't ask for a better featherweight title fight, flyweight title fight than both these guys gave tonight.
Right, and it sucks to see the belt sort of change hands like that. So Mike Goodwin, if you're listening. But, you have to think about the safety of these guys too. Nobody wants to see a fighter get have something that could be an issue in their next fight, and it's better to play it on the safe side to stop things.
And that's one of those cuts that you can't just put a bunch of Vaseline in there, and then you're gonna hit it once and it's gonna reopen and gush everywhere. And it's just safety first, and Bucy's got to appreciate that later for the longevity of his career also. A good show of respect from the ex-champion to the new champion, and like you said, hopefully we'll see in a rematch later on sometime down the road. But congratulations to Marc TongVan for coming in and getting the win tonight here at Cage Aggression 10 Redemption.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Mike Smith, has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 23 seconds in round 5, declaring your winner by Dr. Stoppage and new Cage Aggression Flyweight Champion, Marc TongVan! Let's hear it one more time for both of these guys. And again, your new champion, Marc TongVan, ladies and gentlemen.